to Unicorn Thai Party! As Chinese New Year is just round the corner, I decided to bake a Chinese New Year cake which is called Lingou. It's a Chinese traditional snack that people serve their guests when people come and visit. As far as I remember, as a child, my mum was making this every year, a couple of days before Chinese New Year. So I was grew up with this. And now, as a mum myself, I make these every year for my boys. The Chinese New Year's cake, the texture, when it's cold, it's like cheese. It's quite solid. But when you heat it up and pan frying it, it becomes very sticky, chewy, similar to Japanese mochi or mozzarella cheese. So it's a very nice, chewy snack. And I can guarantee you, all kids love it. You can either make that yourself or you can buy that in the shops. But with the homemade recipes, you can adjust the sweetness of the actual cake to your preference. If you've got elderly relatives or people with diabetes, you can reduce the sugar level in my recipe to suit your needs. Or you can substitute the sugar with artificial sweetener for people with diabetes. And in addition, instead of pan frying the cake afterwards, you can steam it, as this is a healthier option.
So these are the ingredients you will need. You can get these from Oriental supermarkets or the World Food Selection of your local supermarket. 300 grams of glutinous rice flour, 49 grams of rice flour, 150 milliliter of coconut milk, 300 grams of brown sugar. We used Chinese brown sugar, but any brown sugar is fine. 300 milliliter of water, red dates for decoration. We will also release the ingredients at the end.
So heat water, dissolve the brown sugar into the water, wait until it dissolves. And now I'm adding the coconut milk into the brown sugar. I'm just stirring that in. So keep stirring. Once it's all mixed in together, just leave it on the side and let it cool down to room temperature. It'll probably take about half an hour to 40 minutes. So while we're waiting for the coconut milk to cool down, we'll sift the flour a few times, making sure that there's no lumps in it. Sift both flour and then mix them together. And repeat this process a few times. The reason we sift the flours a few times is so that there's no lumps in it. So it will make the cake much smoother and looks nicer. Okay, now that the brown sugar has cooled down, we're going to mix this with the actual flour here. So we're going to pour this all in. I'm just going to stir it in together with the flour. Make sure it's stirred in really well. Make sure the whole mixture is stirred in. Keep stirring. Might be a bit stiff at this stage, but we need to get it all mixed up together so it's consistent. At this stage, it will be like when you're baking a cake. If you keep stirring it until
becomes like this. So it dribbles down. So you should be mixing it until it becomes very smooth and there's no lumps inside the actual cake mixture. Okay, once that's done, you can pour the batter into plastic disposable containers or glass containers. We can pour the batter into the containers and then steam it, so make sure the containers heat resistant. Once you've poured it into the container, give it a tap so it's all smooth. Clean off the edges. Have it more or less to the top full. And then put it in a steamer. Now the next stage is I'm going to use a steamer, but there are 3 ways you can steam it. You can use a steamer like me, or use a wok if you don't have one, a rice cooker, you can use an instant pot if you have one, that will reduce the cooking time. If you still have air bubbles in your cake mixture, you can either give it a tap like me, or use a toothpick or a skewer and pop those bubbles. If you get rid of all the air bubbles, it will make the top layer smooth and look much nicer. So here's my steamer. Make sure the water is boiled before putting the cake mixture. The water is boiling now. We can put the mixture inside. The gas should be on full heat. For this recipe, it should be about 45 to 50 minutes. To make sure that it's fully cooked, use a toothpick or a skewer, put it through, and when it comes out and it's clean, then it's cooked. 10 minutes before it finishes, we are going to put one of these red dates in the middle of it for decoration. So leave that about half an hour, place one of these inside the cake mixture, and then you're done. Okay, after 40 minutes of steaming, the cake's ready. So let's turn this off. There's a lot of steam there. Let me just double check. Clean skewer in the middle. Yep, it's come out nice and clean now. So we're going to remove this, take it out and leave it on the side and let it cool down completely. I will say it will take about half an hour. Make sure it's cooled down completely before you put that in the fridge. And once it's in the fridge, it should be able to last about 5 to 6 days. The easiest way to cook it is cutting it into slices and then pan fry it. Or the healthy option is to steam it again.
We went to a local Chinese supermarket and bought a ready-made one to help me compare. The darker one is the store-bought one. As you can see, the store-bought one is much darker because of the higher sugar content and it's much smaller. When you would like to eat the cake, take it out of the fridge and cut it into slices.
Here we are pan frying 3 types of New Year cake. 2 of a homemade one, 2 of the store-bought ones, and finally 2 of a homemade ones that's been dipped in egg.
A lot of people like dipping the cake in egg before pan frying to give it extra crispy coating. If you want to give it a try, whisk an egg in a bowl and dip the cake in the egg before frying.
Lightly cook it for a few minutes until it starts to crisp up and then it's ready. The top 2 are the ones dipped in egg. The middle 2 are the homemade ones without egg and the bottom 2 are the store-bought ones. We did find the store-bought one was a lot sweeter. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a comment with any suggestions for improvements or future videos you would like to see. From all of us at Unicorn Toy Party, we wish you a Happy New Year.